Your entire life can change in 1 year. Not 10, not 5, not 3, 1. 1 year of focused daily effort. In this video, we're going to talk through my annual planning process, the system that I use to change my life over the course of a year. We're going to hit on my goal setting framework, 4 system building mental models, and my strategy for tracking and adjusting across the course of a year. Without further ado, let's dive right in to my goal setting framework. My goal setting framework has 4 connected components: big goals, checkpoint goals, daily systems, and anti-goals. Let's talk about each one and then put it all together. Big goals. Big goals are the top of the mountain. These are the summit. These are the big things, the big overarching ambitious goals that you're striving for over the course of a year. They are big and ambitious, but sometimes they aren't motivating on a daily basis because they're so abstract and far away. You need them. Write them down and make sure you internalize them as your North Star. The second piece is checkpoint goals. Think of these as your mid-climb campsites, the things that you need to hit along the way to your big goals. They're a little bit more tangible in your mind because they're not so far off in the distance. If my goal was to reach 1 million YouTube subscribers, my checkpoint goal might be to hit 500,000 or 250,000. Somewhere along the way, I have to go through that checkpoint goal in order to reach the big goal. Write down 2 to 3 checkpoint goals for every single big goal that you set. You need to hit these mid-climb campsites along your way to the one big goal. The next piece is daily systems. Anyone that has read Atomic Habits knows the power of these daily systems. As James Clear said, we do not rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. Think about what are the 2 to 3 tiny daily actions that you can take to drive you towards those checkpoint goals. What are the incremental steps forward that you can be making on a daily basis? If your goal is to reach 1 million YouTube subscribers, what are the things you need to be doing on a daily basis to get there? Is it creating a new video every day? Is it researching great things around thumbnails or titles? Some of those daily actions that seem tiny will push you in the right direction. They'll compound positively and drive you towards that future checkpoint goal and big goal. And finally, the last piece, and the one that the least number of people understand intrinsically, anti-goals. Anti-goals are the things we don't want to happen along the way to achieving our big goals. Let's say your big goal is to become CEO of an organization, and you get there, you achieve your big goal, you feel like you made it. But along the way, your marriage got destroyed by all the travel, your relationship with your kids suffered because you were away so much and working. That doesn't really seem like a victory anymore. You reached the summit of the mountain, but at the expense of your toes and part of your life along the way. Anti-goals are key to preventing those bad outcomes. We don't want to achieve the big goal at the expense of these other things. What would feel like you were winning the battle but losing the war? What are those things that you don't want to happen on your journey to hitting those big goals? Write down 1 to 2 anti-goals for every single big goal. As an example with the YouTube subscriber big goal, your anti-goal might be creating cringe, growth hacky type content. You want to continue to have soul in the content that you're putting out. You're not willing to hit 1 million subscribers if it means selling your soul to the algorithm. That would be an effective anti-goal to have along the way. Always think about the anti-goals associated with your big goals. It will keep you in check, and it's absolutely critically important. So to actually operationalize this goal-setting framework in your life, think about 4 steps. With big goals, write down 1 to 3 big goals for your personal life and for your professional life. If you have 1 to 3 big goals for each of those areas, you will continue driving forward in creating transformational change in your life. For each of those big goals, establish at least 1 checkpoint goal, the mid-climb campsite that you have to hit along the way to achieving that big goal. For each of those checkpoint goals, establish 2 to 3 daily systems, the tiny incremental actions that will be walking you, actually moving you towards achieving those checkpoint goals. And then finally, for every single big goal, establish 1 to 3 anti-goals, the things that you don't want to happen along your journey to hitting those big goals. Now, let's talk about system building mental models. It's great that we can talk about all of these systems and the things that we need to put into place to get us to these big goals, but execution against those systems is often difficult. Sometimes life enters and it becomes really challenging to actually hit those things every single day. These 4 system building mental models will help. The first one is the 2-day rule. The idea is simple: never skip twice. You can miss one day, but never miss a second day in a row. The science agrees with this. In various studies, it has been shown that missing one day in a habit building process does not negatively impact its formation. Missing 2 days does. So never skip twice. The second one is my personal favorite, my 30 for 30 approach. With anything that you want to make progress on, do it for 30 straight days for 30 minutes per day. 30 days is long enough that you need to make a commitment to take it on, but 30 minutes is short enough that you can mentally get there to do it. 900 minutes of accumulated effort will create dramatic progress over the course of that period. The third system building mental model is habit stacking. James Clear wrote about this in Atomic Habits. The idea is to tie the habit that you're trying to create to some other action. To say, I'll journal right before getting into bed. To say, I'll do 10 push-ups right after getting out of bed. To say, I'll do 10 body squats while my coffee's brewing. You connect 2 habits together and it makes it much easier to put the new positive one into your life. And finally, the fourth system building mental model is minimum viable progress. The idea is that you never skip a day, but that anything above 0 compounds. If you don't have 30 minutes to work out that day, that's fine. Do 2 minutes, do 5 minutes. Anything above 0 compounds. It stacks a win in the direction of your checkpoint and big goals. Now, the last area to talk about in my annual planning process is my system for tracking and adjusting during the course of the year. The 1 in 60 rule says that a 1-degree error in heading will cause an airplane to miss its target by 1 mile for every 60 miles flown. The idea is that small errors in heading are amplified over distance and time. We have the exact same problem in our lives. We need a system for tracking and adjusting to make sure our heading is correct during the course of the year. The process that I use for that is a monthly review. On the last Friday of every month, I ask myself 3 simple questions. What really matters in my life, and are my big goals aligned with that? This is a way of pressure testing whether your big goals are still appropriate for where you are in life. That's question number 1. Question number 2, are my current daily systems aligned with driving me towards those goals? You're going to assess the quality of the things you're doing on a daily basis. If you need to make changes to those daily systems, that's the time to do it. And question number 3, is your current environment well tailored to what you are trying to achieve? Are there things you need to cut, people you need to cut that are holding you back? Get rid of these boat anchors that are holding back your progress on a monthly basis, and you will consistently level up to change your life over the course of a year. Well, there you have it. That is my annual planning process. 3 key areas. My goal setting framework, which establishes big goals, checkpoint goals, daily systems, and anti-goals. 4 system building mental models, which we talked about as the 2-day rule, never skip twice, the 30 for 30 approach, 30 minutes per day for 30 straight days, habit stacking, which is tying a habit to something you're already doing, and the 4th, minimum viable progress, the idea that anything above 0 compounds. And finally, my system for tracking and adjusting during the course of the year. 3 simple questions. What really matters in my life right now? And are my big goals aligned with that? How is the quality of my daily systems leading me towards my big goals in my life? And are my current environments well tailored to me achieving what I'm trying to go reach? If you go through that annual planning process, I guarantee you will be well on your way to changing your life in the year to come. Remember, most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. You can change your entire life in 1 year. Not 10, not 5, not 3. 1. 1 year is all it takes. So, what's stopping you from starting today?